welcome to my channel. I'm Caitlin Hill. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button and like and share this video. I also just wanted to mention that I am offering guidance sessions now for mamas and families who are looking for extra support during their time of pregnancy, birth, or postpartum to talk about how they want to step into their own power and make choices in their birth and feel supported by someone who has been through it and needs a little bit of extra help and guidance along the way, or just needs someone to talk to about everything that pregnancy and this massive life transition comes with. So if you are wanting to book a session, the link is below. So I have 15-month-old twins and a 4-year-old daughter, and when I found out that I was pregnant with twins, it was just the most shocking experience of my life. Honestly, I had no idea what to do, no idea how to feel. I didn't know how to prepare for it or what the experience was going to be like. I was honestly so scared. I think I cried for the first 3 months. And it was just so scary. And the thing is about twins is that it's rare. It's not super common. So there's not as much support out there for women that are having twins, and it is a very different experience. It's important to feel like you can be as prepared mentally and physically as possible during your pregnancy, so that when those two little bundles of joy come into the world, that you can feel like you're as ready as you possibly can be. Of course, there's always things in life that we can't be prepared for, and especially having kids is one of those things. It's like, it's impossible to know until you're actually going through it. But I have compiled a list of 10 things that I think will really help you if you are pregnant with twins, and a list that I know I definitely wish I had had when I first found out that I was pregnant with twins. So let's get started. Okay, number 1, you don't need that much stuff. Babies are pretty simple in the beginning. They really just want to eat and sleep and go to the bathroom and get their diapers changed and be held and supported and feel connected to their parents. So, you don't need that many things. I feel like we always over prepared with our babies and got a ton of stuff for them, but at the end of the day, the most important things were truly a wrap, like a really stretchy, comfortable wrap. In the beginning, can feel kind of confusing to learn how to wrap it up and everything, but trust me, you learn very fast. And with those ones, you can actually put 2 babies inside of it. I always had an extra set of hands around, so I never had to do the 2 at once except for a couple times. Another option is having the double carrier, like the WeGo. That's something that you're only going to use for the first 3 months or so, but it's really worth it to have something where you can carry both of them if you don't have an extra set of hands around all the time. I made sure, and I will talk about this later, to always make sure that there was 2 people here in the beginning so that I wasn't stuck having to carry both of them, because it's just a lot for one person, and they want to be held all the time, basically. I don't expect to put the babies down for the first 6 months. So when, and that was a bit of a shock to me, after having my first daughter, realizing that they don't want to be put down. They just want to be in safe arms. So to have that expectation of knowing, okay, they don't want to be put down for the first 6 months, so be mentally prepared for that and physically prepared for that, knowing that you're going to have a carrier or a wrap or something just to keep them in all of the time. Keep it super simple. The Baby Bjorn bouncy seats are really great as well if you want to actually just put them down somewhere where they can be safe. I highly recommend getting a mat, and I will be making a more detailed video on items that are needed for when you're expecting twins, but honestly, keep it simple. There's not that much stuff that you need to get. Number 2, keeping them on the same schedule is key. And it is very difficult in the beginning to keep them on the same schedule because they're not on a schedule. They've just been inside mama's womb and her belly, and there's no schedule there. You're at the womb hotel is available 24/7, and they can be awake and eat and sleep whenever they choose. So when they come out, there's no set time or set schedule. The most important thing is to try if one baby's awake, to wake the other baby so that they can both hopefully sync up and be on the same schedule and go back to sleep at the same time. That was kind of our goal from the beginning, and it's really tough in the first 6 months to try to get them to be on the same schedule, but I promise eventually they do actually sync up, and now like they are always on the same schedule. If one baby wakes up from a nap, we wake up the second baby. In the middle of the night, if one baby wakes up to feed, we wake up the second baby. Because what can happen is if you're just so tired and just feeding one baby, trust me, I've done it so many times and I've learned the hard way. You'll finish feeding that first baby, and if you don't wake the second baby, that second baby is gonna be up in like an hour. So it's gonna be like twin ping pong back and forth all day and all night if you don't just keep them on the same schedule and feed them at the same time. So definitely keep them on the same schedule. I know it's a challenge, but if that can always be sort of the goal to reach anyways, it's going to make your life so much easier. Number 3 is to get a really good twin breastfeeding pillow. I had the Twinsy pillow and it was fantastic. I still have it and I still use it at 15 months. Really, really helpful. Again, in the beginning, it was tough for me to tandem nurse because they were so small. It was hard to get them on the boob at the same time. But gradually over time, around 3 or 4 months, they finally started to be able to sort of latch and stay on the breast at the same time. And it's super important to have a pillow where you feel comfortable and supported. When you're comfortable, they're comfortable. That's the number 1 rule. So make sure you've got lots of pillows and support behind you and pillows underneath them so that they can be at the right like level to your breast and to feel that they're safe and able to just relax and feed normally. Which brings me to number 4. You can breastfeed twins exclusively. I am living proof of it. I was definitely told that I was going to have to supplement with formula, which no judgment. If that's what you want to do or that's your only option, then by all means go for it, of course. But just know that you can breastfeed exclusively. It is definitely a commitment. It's definitely a lot of work. For me, it was just what I chose to do, and I just felt called to do that. So I have been doing that every day and night for 15 months, and I don't plan to stop before. I mean, it depends. There's no set time. It's whenever I feel like I'm done and the babies feel like they're done, and that's like very much a decision that's made between me and the babies. That's not an outside influence that's influencing us to stop. That's between us. As breastfeeding is a very personal decision. It's a very personal relationship, and no one else should be telling you when or when you shouldn't be breastfeeding. So whenever I feel like I'm ready to stop breastfeeding, I will finish. It's just important to know that if you have the will to do it, you can do it. And if you feel called to breastfeed your twins exclusively, then by all means, do whatever you have to do to make that work for you, make that happen for you. I've never had an issue with my milk supply. I've never had an issue with making sure I'm feeding them enough. In the beginning, I sort of was like, oh, is this enough for them? Because I was so convinced that I was going to have to give them formula. That was all very mental. Once I was able to work past all of that belief of lack, and realize that my milk supply is just an abundant, never-ending, overflowing supply. Once I was able to be really confident in that belief and just know that my body is enough for my babies and really truly believe that wholeheartedly, yeah, that's when I was able to be like, no, I'm gonna fully commit to this. I definitely considered formula feeding, and I'm really, really proud of myself for just sticking with just having exclusively breast milk. That brings me to number 5. If you do want to exclusively breastfeed, you are gonna have to have a team of support around you, whether that's hired help or friends and family, your community, your partner. You will have to have extra help and extra hands. Make sure that you're eating really dense, nourishing foods, drinking water all the time, making sure you're staying hydrated and getting all the rest and support that you need, because it really it takes up a lot of energy to create breast milk, and it's important to have that support to help you behind you and your body feeding your babies. Number 6, you will be labeled as high risk right off the bat for being pregnant with twins. This was something that came as a bit of a shock to me. You know, risk, it's like such a broad term, you know, like everything in life is a risk. Getting into a car is a risk, you know, walking out onto the street and going on a crosswalk is a risk. You know, there's so many things that are risky. At the end of the day, birth and pregnancy is as safe as life gets. So there's always going to be risk just being alive. And so when I was first found out that I was pregnant with twins and I had that label put on me, I found that quite shocking, that it was sort of like, this is what you are now, and therefore you have to follow this, and this. And that's just the way it is because I was put into that category. It was like one size fits all, you are high risk, and therefore you have to follow all of these things that go along with you being high risk. You will be treated differently from having a singleton pregnancy, and it's sort of up to you in terms of how you want to deal with that and handle that reality. I chose to view it as I was a variation of normal. So basically, of course, every pregnancy is unique and every pregnancy is different. No two are the same. And so I was just a different version of any other pregnancy. When I was able to come to terms with that, I was able to view it in a different way, through a different lens, and sort of reframe how I was going to carry myself during my pregnancy. I feel like high risk is a very negative term, and it really pathologizes pregnancy and twin pregnancies, and it doesn't need to be that way. So coming to terms with that and knowing that and understanding that, and if you do feel called to choose to look at it differently, then by all means do so. Okay, number 7 is expectations. I did mention this a little bit before about expecting to carry the baby for 6 months in the very beginning. Is really, and babies, is really important, because the way that you can expect things to be and sort of come to terms with, like, okay, yes, they are going to want me 24/7. I am going to be not sleeping for the first little while. They're going to wake every 2 hours in the beginning. You know, they're going to be needing a lot of support and attention. And when you can see things in that way and sort of like reframe your expectations, I think it made a world of difference for me. Before I had Safia, I was like, everyone told me it was going to be hard, but my expectations were that it was going to be so much easier than what everyone said it was going to be like. And she was totally going to sleep through the night, and it was going to be so easy. And it was like, that's, you know, it was going to be like better than I was expecting it to be. And the thing is that there's just biologically normal things that all babies do. Like, all babies want to wake up to eat every few hours. I mean, obviously there's maybe a few in the world that don't, but that's the exception to the rule. Most babies biologically want to eat around the clock. Most babies want to be with their parents and on their mom or dad or you know, caregiver at all times for the first 6 months. Most babies don't sleep very well in the beginning. Just coming to terms with that and accepting that and making that an expectation, I feel, is much better than expecting that that's not going to happen and expecting that motherhood's going to be like the easiest thing in the world, when it's amazing. It's the most amazing thing in the world, but I wouldn't say that it's easy. And that's just what being a mother is, you know. Sometimes even now, the twins of 15 months, they want me all the time. All I hear when I'm downstairs is mama, 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 mama. And of course, I could let that get to me and I could be like, why do they just want me all the time? That's biological. They just want to be with their mama. They just want to be with their daddy. They want to be close. They want to be held. They want to be near you. You're their home. Just expect to be there for them because that's what they want. Okay, number 8 is majorly prep for postpartum. Okay, so have a village set up a meal train with your community, connect with other twin moms, ask your support network to help you postpartum, and have that scheduled and set up before you have the babies. I actually sat down and had a conversation with my in-laws and with my parents. Matisse and I basically sat down with them and told them what we needed for us to be able to thrive postpartum. And this was super, super, super important and so good that we did this, because honestly, it made such a massive difference. It's much better to talk to your support network beforehand instead of after, when the babies come and you're like, wow, what do? I need help. I need blah, 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 blah. Get it set up beforehand. Have frozen meals packed in your freezer. Tell your neighbor that the babies are coming. Like, tell anyone that you possibly can that you are going to need help. What we did was we had a 6-week schedule that we just had on the fridge, and every single day someone was cooking for meals for us, and someone was always looking after our eldest daughter, Safia. And so every single day, at every single time, there was like a crossover. Someone was coming to watch us or help us or make food for us or watch Safia or watch a baby. And it was so, so, so helpful. I think it really helped us thrive postpartum. And also, we would always have 2 people, extra people, including Matisse and I, at the house to help us out. And especially at night times, what would happen was I would just have both babies would be on either Matisse or someone else. Anyways, the babies were being looked after by someone else, and I would have 3 hours to sleep with Safia at the beginning of the night. So I'd go to sleep with her at 8, and I would sleep with her from 8 to 11. So I was guaranteed to have 3 hours of sleep at the very beginning of the night. And then I always was able to start the night and know, like, okay, I've had 3 hours of sleep. Whew, that's good. Now I can get through whatever little bits of sleep I'm going to get throughout the night. And it just helped us out so much. So get a schedule, expect to need a lot of help. You cannot have enough help postpartum, and just set yourself up to thrive, like just do it good, do it well, and expect that you're going to need more than less. Number 9, it does get easier. It is double the work. It is double the diapers. It is double the breastfeeding. It is double the cries and the tears and from all around. And it is a lot of work, but it is double the love. And honestly, I can safely say now at 15 months that I finally feel like things are getting easier and have gotten a lot easier, especially after that 1-year mark. It's not so intense as it is in the beginning forever. It does eventually start to grow and change and develop, and they can eventually walk on their own 2 feet. And it is so beautiful to witness when they do, because they're like BFFs for life. Like now all 3 of my kids are starting to play together, and it's just the most beautiful, heartwarming thing to witness. So it does get easier. It's not hard forever. And I promise you that you will eventually be able to have a little bit more freedom and just feel proud and strong about the journey that you've come on to get through that first year of having twins and just come out on the other side. And it just gets better and better and forever. And so it's an incredible blessing to have twins, and it's just, it's a blessing beyond this realm. So believe and know that it does change, and it does eventually pay off after that first little bit. And that leads me into number 10. You can do this. You absolutely can do this. I believe in you. I did it. I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it, and I did it. It is challenging, but we can do hard things. If you've already been chosen to be a twin mom and your body is carrying twins, you already have what it takes in you to mother them. I for sure know that you can do this. If you can get past that first 3 months, that first 6 months, that first MS, that first 12 months, it will get easier, and it will just feel so magical to be able to see those 2 babies together. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy, but it is so rewarding. And I love being a twin mom because I know that I can do anything in this entire world. I've really tapped into my power, and I feel so strong and so confident about tackling anything and everything. And I think twin moms are just absolutely the best thing ever. And I am so proud to be a part of this small but very mighty group of women and families. So just know you got this. I believe in you. Again, need any more guidance or support, please feel free to book a session with me in the links below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and like and share this video with someone that it might be helpful for. And I am sending you deep peace and blessings on your journey. Take care and ciao for now. Bye.